let's understand the rules for writing a chemical formula. And here we are talking about the ionic compounds. Now, there are various ionic compounds, and if I were to name a few, let's talk about magnesium oxide. Okay, and maybe let me write the name also over here. Magnesium oxide. Right? Then you have copper sulfide. Which is written as CuS, right? And then maybe for a third example, let's take sodium chloride. Now, how do you write the formulas for this? I mean, you've seen three of them. Do you notice anything common? Okay, if I talk about magnesium oxide, it has two things, right? One is magnesium and the other one is oxygen, right? Similarly, if you talk about copper sulfide, it has copper and it has sulfur, right? For sodium chloride, you have sodium and chlorine, right? If you see, all the three elements on the left side are basically the metals, right? While all the three on the right side, which is oxygen, sulfur and chlorine, are non-metals. So do you get one rule for this? What does it tell? It tells that whenever we write the name of ionic compounds, the metals figure on the left side of the chemical formula and the non-metals figure on the right side of the chemical formula, right? And more often than not, these are made up of two elements, right? So in these cases, the two elements are magnesium and oxygen, copper and sulfur, sodium and chlorine. Now, all these things which are made up of two elements are known as binary compounds. So whenever we write the chemical formula for an ionic compound, normally you have a metal and a non-metal. The metal is placed on the left hand side, the non-metals on the right hand side, right? One more thing which you would have noticed is, if I see here, what do I have here? I have magnesium and I have oxygen. But what am I writing here? I am writing magnesium oxide. Similarly, you have copper and sulfur. I'm writing copper sulfide. I have sodium and chlorine. I'm writing sodium chloride. So in case of a non-metal, what is this representing? This is basically representing the non-metal. In case of a non-metal, instead of writing chlorine, I write chloride. So the ending words, the three words are IDE, right? When you pronunciate it, you use the word "ide". You don't say chlorine, sodium chlorine. You say sodium chloride. You don't say copper sulfur. You say copper sulfide. Not magnesium oxygen, magnesium oxide. So the name of the non-metal in all these cases has changed with the ending of IDE, right? Whereas if we talk about the name of the metal, it remains as it is. So magnesium remained magnesium, copper remained copper, sodium remained sodium. So these were some of the few simple rules for writing the chemical formulas of an ionic compound. Thank you for being with us today. Just one small error here. The word has to be O. CMOPOUNDS.